Moi moia, poets for Ihumatao. I have a dream, not a Martin Luther King dream, more of a waking life dream, when you're in a parallel universe movie of your own making. In my dream, Jacinda is walking in knee-high boots, the tall, skinny, expensive kind you used to have to order from Great Britain, that I could never pull over my big Tongan calves. She is wearing a red raincoat, not like a Kathmandu one with a zip. It's more of a cape. Fire truck red, lipstick red, Labour Party red. More of a Red Riding Hood cape, and it is billowing in the whipping wind. And the way she struts it, it could be a horse polo ad, but it's not, because she and her gumboots are at Ihumatao on the whenua. And she's not walking alone. Flanked either side is Nanaya, Kiritapu, Willow Jean and Louisa, who has the reddest lipstick of them all. They all have knee-high boots and red jackets, and there is Carmel, taller than the rest, even though her boots are flat, who used to rent our family home. And there is Jenny with the red flower behind her ear, who used to be married to my ex-husband. And then there is Anahila, my mate, with her righteous Tongan afro fro, and Poto too. And in my dream, the soundtrack is Beyonce playing Who Rules the World, Girls. And behind them is Jacinda's baby daddy, pushing Neve Te Aroha in an expensive waterproof pram, which is just as well because there is thunder and lightning as these women walk. And it strikes me that he is the perfect, woke, manawatu male. The lips of all these women are pursed. Not like in selfies, but because they are purposeful. And in my dream, they are walking in slow-mo. And Marama is there in her reggae beanie saying, "What took you fellas so long?" And in my dream, Jacinda has read Dr. Rawiri Taunui's article. And as her plane landed on the Auckland tarmac, she thought, for the first time, about all the bodies, the bones, the ko iwi, and the ancestors who had to give up everything. The clean awa, their land, kaimoana, maunga to be quarried, ocean to become a sewer, they who had to give too much to the city of Auckland, even their graves. I dream Jacinda truly felt like this history stinks like sewage as she drove into the shit show that has been the water treatment plant, and that she visibly flinched when she saw the 1863 proclamation issued by corrupt Governor Grey with his fake news about dangerous attacking natives as he coveted Waikato Tainui having the best land, flour mills, the most fertile export businesses, and gathered and imported 16,000 British imperial and colonial troops, telling the natives to surrender or they'd be ejected. I hope she knows. The archaeologists say this is an OG settlement place, where, to quote Alice Te Punga Somerville, where Māori once were Pacific and evolved over centuries from us into them. And I'm waving a Tongan flag at the small way that we are connected. And in my dream, Peter Ture is not comparing me to Captain Cook for doing this, but he's down there on the atia saying, "Haere mai, Jacinda," and he looks so beautiful with his white feathers in his hair. And in my dream, at this very moment, he turns into a bird. And then he is joined by an army of kahu from Ōkahu Bay, a whole field full of black hawks. They have surveyor pegs in their beaks and a burning papakainga in their eyes. And yeah, maybe a park for all New Zealanders is not enough, although it was gifted generously after the occupation of Bastion Point. And there are overlapping interests here, not just the fact that blood joins in so many mokopuna, but because the kaupapa of tino rangatiratanga is an overlapping interest. And even Paul Majuri says, tautoko. And then all the maunga are there, because Pihanga led the way. And just like Pānia, she's quite the mountain. And it's mana wahine on display. And there's the red lineup of women walking in the mud. And I don't know where Willie, Calvin and Peony are, but it's my dream and I don't need to know. Willie is deaf not doing the fingers at the crowd from behind the glass doors at Parliament like I saw him do last week, just because men who have had their children taken away by the state heckled him. To be honest, I'm pretty sure uplift kaupapa is over. It is time for uplifting. And in my dream, all the boots on those women are now thigh high, and they are all wearing a katu of red flowers made by my friend Tai, because it's Cook Islands Language Week, and every woman looks more beautiful in an A. Everyone. And they are saying, kia ora, kia orana. And I am looking at Pānia, Kiani, Amelia and the cousins, and Rihanna is singing, shining bright, bright like a diamond, but not a blood diamond. And Kiani says, we don't speak on behalf of mana whenua. We are mana whenua. And there is a sign in the sky, not a tohu, but a billboard, and it says, Aotearoa, New Zealand. This leadership is in dispute. And there are 100,000 likes on Facebook and laughing, dancing gifs and emojis with love hearts in their eyes. And then suddenly it is silent. And in my dream, Jacinda stops and she takes her gumboots off and is barefoot, skin to land. And she says, I can feel it. I can feel the whenua singing. And once you know it, you cannot unknow it. And you cannot hurt the things you love. And amidst that magic, somewhere online, a Give a Little page has gone viral and people are buying back Ihumatao square metre by square metre, and the soundtrack is playing Midnight Oil. And as the donations pour in, Asians for tino rangatiratanga, the Muslim community, the Tongan church congregations who give more than they can afford because that's how we roll, and the amounts are printed online. And even Don Brash donates because no he doesn't, because not even in a dream. But nobody cares because here's old news, and now girls rule the world. And Jacinda stands up and she says to the international community, this is a win for climate change. This is a win for indigenous people everywhere. This is a win for community. This is a win for New Zealand. This is a win for Auckland. This is a win for us all. This is a win for the whenua. And the soundtrack playing is We Are the People by Louis Baker. And even Tina Ngata says she did better than Helen Clark. And on TV, beautiful Kānoa Lloyd, rapturous in red, sits there, queen of the primetime universe, and with a smug side-eye at her colleagues, she interviews Joe Bloggs from the heart of Remuera about why he gave a little, and then he explains, after coming to the whenua himself and taking the tour with Pānia and reading about the history, he finally understood that the people of Ihumatao had given enough to make Auckland great. And it was time to give back a little. It was time to give back a lot. Stop living unjustly off the back of benefits of unjustly taken land. Somewhere in Tāmaki, all the birds waiting with surveyor pegs in their mouths, both extinct and living, spat them from the choke in their throats, and the black hawks began to sing. And all the people everywhere who can hear the dawn chorus of the dead locked in psychiatric wards and prison cells began to hum a happier tune instead of feeling lament. And somewhere, te whiti, tohu, te kōti, rua, rewi, tāwhiao, iwa, whina, ngāneko, and all the ancestors began to sing, knowing now the tongues of birds. And us ordinary ones, without the gifts of sight or sound, you can catch a fragment of that waiata. You can hear it in the refrain of Rob Ruha's new song, and it sounds like freedom.